up with you guys tomorrow to bring you some more news that I know you can use. Okay, I'm sorry to, I guess, tap in with this news. So we can send some prayers up for anyone that may have been involved. If you live in this area and you know about it, prayers to you as well, okay? It says that OMG neighbors said a small plane has reportedly crashed in Northeast Philly. It said that multiple casualties have been reported. Prayers up for all the families affected by this tragedy, okay? Let's go ahead and watch this. Oh my goodness. Let me get my other device up so that I can make sure everything's running right. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get into it.
A fucking plane just crashed on Coppin Avenue, yo. I was right there, bro. What the fuck? Yo, somebody crit. Oh my God, yo, the world, yo. What the fuck, yo?
There's some breaking news to report here tonight at 6 o'clock. This happening in Northeast Philadelphia. A small plane has crashed. It happened just after 6 p.m. We know that debris hit buildings. There are also reports of multiple casualties. We'll keep watching this story for you as it unfolds throughout the night. Again, this breaking news coming in from Northeast Philadelphia. A small plane has crashed. Multiple casualties reported. As the day continues, we'll bring you updates here on air and also online. We're looking at a map right now of where this happened, right along Cottman Avenue, the Roosevelt Boulevard. As you can imagine, this time of day, really busy out there. But again, this breaking news coming in from Northeast Philadelphia. We have crews on the way there to gather more information. Multiple casualties reported, more online and also on the air as that information comes in.
Oh, fuck.
Can I get still moving, but still moving. All right. Just stay on the other side of this table right here, okay? I appreciate
it. A plane has crashed right off the boulevard at Cottman Avenue. It's on fire. It's not under control. It looks like a side street. All blazing fire. It looks like debris here. I'm in a debris field. They're up on the parking lot. There is thick smoke and the smell of jet fuel.
A plane crashed in Philadelphia in a residential area.
Wow.
What in the world, y'all? In a residential area? Hi, Jimmy Driggers.
This is when you're gonna
What in the world is going on, y'all?
Goodness. Somebody's doorbell cam look like.
This is crazy.
That's so crazy. Look at that.
In a residential area?
Yikes. Another
Insane.
video.
In a residential area, though. It's crazy.
From Northeast Philadelphia, we have crews on the way there to gather more information. Multiple casualties reported, more online and also on the air as that information.
In a residential area.
Can I get still moving, but still moving. All right. Just stay on the other side of this table right here, okay? I appreciate it.
Plane crash in a residential area in Philadelphia, y'all. What in the...
A plane has crashed right off the boulevard at Cottman Avenue. It's on fire. It's not under control. It looks like a side street. All blazing fire.
Can't make this stuff up. This is what is going on right now. This is crazy.
It looks like debris here. I'm in a debris field. They're up on the parking lot. There is thick smoke and the smell of jet fuel. I'm working, I'm sorry, with Fox. I need to get my, I should have worn a jacket. I'm sorry, brother. I will.
Wow.
There's
This is when you're going to actually see it. Goodness. Somebody's doorbell came.
You cannot make this stuff up. You can't make it up. Another plane crash.
That's so crazy. Look at that.
In Northeast Philadelphia in a residential area. How and what is going the fuck on?
Another view.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
In a residential area, y'all. Like in a neighborhood.
The image, yes, it is a disaster for sure.
Especially this time of night, Joe, because it's rush hour is just about over, but I'm sure it was pretty active in that area. It is the mall area.
Look at this shit.
And it is in a neighborhood. The homes we are looking at on our video. You can't see our video. Are backed up to
my gosh.
Flames from where that plane went down. So, oh my gosh, I can understand when one of your sources said it's an absolute disaster.
The image that we were able to see from the Citizens app showing those.
I don't know why, Hart.
This,
I don't know why.
Fire.
I just know it just happened.
I understand that
in a residential area in Northeast Philly, a plane crashes. This is insane.
So y'all see what has happened.
Insane.
All over the news. For those of you that's watching, I want to just pop right in right quick to make everybody aware that another plane has gone down.
Oh my gosh.
This is so sad. They said that 2 people was on this plane, and they said that some injuries were reported on the ground, and that some houses had caught on fire as well. In that areas, in the mall area. So, a lot of people are going to be in the mall or at the mall or in that area. So, prayers for everybody involved. If you have family in that area or anyone's been affected by that, prayers to you guys. Condolences to anyone that may have been affected.
If you got family in Northeast Philly, check on your people, y'all.
So, in a matter of a day or two,
this plane crash happened in a residential area.
In the D.C. area that went into the D.C. River. I reported on that as well. This one is in Philadelphia, as you guys see.
No, this is another one that just happened just now, not too long ago.
Let me go back to it.
This is another one. This is insane.
They're actually saying that the plane went down. This is so crazy.
Fucking plane just crashed on Cottman Avenue, yo. I was right there, bro. What the fuck? Yo, somebody crit. Oh my God, yo, the world, yo. What the fuck, yo?
It's some breaking news to report here.
Yes, G4ME boy. What the fuck is right?
Has crashed. It happened just after 6 p.m. We know that debris hit buildings. There are also reports of
in a residential area.
We'll keep watching this story for you as it unfolds.
You got family in Philly, check on your family. If they live in a residential area, because I don't know.
Multiple casualties.
Just know if you got family in Philly, check on your family.
Updates here on air. And
this happened in a residential area, y'all.
Now of where this happened, right along Cottman Avenue to Roosevelt Boulevard, as you can imagine, this time of day, really busy out there. But again, this breaking news coming in from Northeast Philadelphia. We have
a lot of people are talking about how they scared to travel now. 2 plane crashes within 1 week? What the fuck is going on?
Says thanks, Braille. I live in Philly, AAMU grade.
And I try not to cuss on here, but this is getting to be too much.
Since you live in that area, that goes to anyone else. Says thank you, Camille. Video. Don't speak if you live in that area. Somebody said
G4ME boy. Good question.
I'm praying my coworkers made it home.
2 plane crashes in the same week. It's very scary.
That area, my God, this is so sad, y'all.
And sad.
Always make sure you stay prayed up.
What the hell?
At the door and throughout the day, because you just never know what tragedy will strike. Okay, this is just people just walking around, just living life at the mall. My God, you can't even. Oh my gosh, this is insane. Like you're not safe nowhere. You're not safe in your house. You're just not safe nowhere. Right in a residential neighborhood. So prayers up.
This happened in a residential neighborhood.
In that area, if you know someone there. Just oh my God, you just never know. Wow, I don't know what to say.
Like literally plane just crashing everywhere. Like what the?
That I'm gonna be doing
what?
In a few months. Now I'm getting scared. Like, do I want to be on a flight now with all these planes down going down? It's making me second guess myself now. Like, I'm supposed to be going somewhere.
It's crazy.
To take a flight. I don't know if I want to be on Delta now. If this is going on, Lord. Yeah. So I'm just gonna pray about it. I'm gonna pray about it, child. But prayers for anyone. If you get ready to take a flight, don't forget to say a prayer before you go in the air. Say a prayer before you hit the air. Okay. Let's get out.
Lord have mercy.
It's crazy. Yes, and this is crazy, y'all. It's crazy. But let's get out of here, guys. That's all I have. That's all I have. You guys enjoy your night. If you're going out tonight, please be safe, all right? I will be definitely touching up with you guys tomorrow to bring you some more news that I know you can use, okay?
My Lord, yes. I'm praying for everybody there, everybody involved. Hart Baker, let's hope that what you're saying is true for this incident because we don't know yet.
Thank you, guys.
I don't know anything. I just know it was a crash. Like, I don't know anything yet. It's just insane. Mine is too, Hart Baker. So this happened a couple of hours ago. Let's look at another news footage.
I thought going back to school to get my education degree would be so expensive, but then I found WGU.
In a residential area, y'all. In a residential area.
Here, Sue, live now from Fox and Andrew Kraft. Live picture there in Philadelphia. We do have some breaking news there in the city of brotherly love. I want to put this tweet up from our colleague there at Fox 29. Reporter Chris O'Connell, he says there have been several reports of a plane crash into a building in northeast Philadelphia. Fox 29 Philadelphia have been covering this story within the last few minutes. They are sending reporters to the scene. I believe some of those reporters are on the scene.
I'm hearing it was two people.
You can see Steve Keeley.
I don't know for sure.
Video from his cell phone. He says bulletin airplane crash there on Roosevelt Boulevard. He says fires burning in multiple spots on Cotman Avenue. He says pieces of airplane scattered there on the ground. Jason Martinez with this video saying this is being described as a plane crash in the area of Bustleton and Cotman Avenues in northeast Philly. That's a doorbell camera provided by a viewer there to Fox 29. Let's take it.
In a residential area, though.
And you see the nighttime sky light up in orange. Wow. And in the meantime here, Fox 29 in Philadelphia is in breaking news coverage of this. So let's listen.
This is Jason Martinez here in the Fox 29 newsroom. You are looking at what's being described as a plane crash in northeast Philadelphia. This is doorbell camera provided by a viewer left of your screen. You saw the fireball come out of the sky. Again, this is being described to us as a plane crash northeast Philadelphia in the area of Bustleton and Cotman Avenues. You saw the left of your screen, the fireball come right out. Take another closer look there. And so this just happened.
My God. Oh my God.
So again, northeast Philadelphia, I believe we have Steve Keeley in the area.
In a residential area, though? A whole plane crashing?
We do not, Steve, at the moment. As soon as we get it, we'll bring it to you.
Yeah, it just looked unreal.
Video from a door.
It looks unreal, but it's real.
Showing a fireball fall out of the sky.
It's crazy.
To the airport, just less than a mile away from this location, and so
it's really insane.
Our newsroom and telling us that they believe
in a residential area.
This area of
plane crashes in a residential area. Tell me,
video.
Somebody, please tell me what the hell is going on.
We're seeing. Here's a closer look. And really, I can only describe a fireball that falls out of the sky.
Cannot make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
The parking lot in northeast Philly. And this is ground video that we're just getting in. You're seeing it as I am seeing it. Police taping the area off. Smoke and debris in this area. And this is, of course, all happening as we are still sorting through a plane crash that happened in D.C. No word on the size of the plane that crashed, what caused it. We are just learning this. There's some...
Stay right here. I'm ready.
Okay, now we have Steve. Steve, if you can hear me, what can you tell us?
Jason, I was just warned. I'm fairly close. I was nearby. This happened at 6 o'clock. I got it confirmed by 6:13 and 6:14. And then a top commander in the department told me his house shook. He called the bomb squad, and they told him a plane had crashed. Then lots of calls came in. I was nearby. I saw everybody right here. I raced with them. I'm looking at 2 fires going right now.
This is unreal, y'all.
One of the driveways to the Roosevelt Mall.
This is
ran over here. I parked in the McDonald's.
Freaking real.
I wondered what I was tripping over, and it was pieces of an airplane scattered in the mall parking lot. They then began roping that off.
I don't know, Heartbaker. Oh my God, I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that question.
The fires are not under.
They're not saying that. I cannot answer that question. All I know is this our norm now? Plane crashes? Like, what the fuck?
Another commander told me cars were on fire. This was in rush hour.
We can't, like, this happened in a residential area where people live. Plane crash.
When this plane crashed, so it was the wall-to-wall cars approaching Compton and the Boulevard, so people were stopped in traffic. I don't know if cars are on
this is unreal.
in front of me or parts of the plane.
Oh my gosh.
Multiple fires, and the fires are not right next to each other. They're a good 100 yards from each other. So there is a string of damage and a string of
If you have family in Northeast Philly, please check on your family, friends, whatever. I don't know what to say. I just couldn't believe it when I saw it, so I'm showing it to y'all. I'm in disbelief again, as I was the other day.
There is so much smoke in the air going right over the mall right here, and this mall was packed too. They had to move all the people back to the good, and the air quality is not good for them, but everybody was down here. Now I can see one car. I'm looking through the fence station. I'm looking down in front of the Dunkin' Donuts on Cotton, and again, this is right before the Boulevard. Right in front of the Dunkin' Donuts, it looks like an SUV.
Oh my God, this shit don't even look real, y'all. Look at this. Look like something out of a freaking movie.
And the fire department's also trying to worry about that gas line that's in danger. Now
I'm telling you, Heartbaker, I'm seeing a lot of people say that. Like, this is gonna make people not want to fly. Like, what the hell? Like, come on now. And this happened in a residential area? Are you kidding me?
Hits the ground, just flames. It
don't even look like, freaking real, but this is very freaking real.
You said you smelled
like
fuel?
Yeah, I can still smell it. There's
yeah, it's they did say it was a small plane.
And if they're reporting a fireball falling out of the sky, the parts of the airplane I saw were not burned. And again, we're near Northeast Philly Airport. It would be an unreal coincidence if there was another minute.
Look at this shit.
I don't know, but and I didn't.
In a residential area. Like, come on now.
But the parts of the airplane I saw did not have any burn marks on them. And again, I'm just trembling over them. And in the first video I sent in and put on, I'm tripping over the airplane parts before I realize what I'm tripping on. And then an officer says, "Hey, this is a debris field here from the airplane." And that's it. So we don't know what happened. We just know that an airplane crashed here somehow. And there's parts of the airplane long before where the fires are burning. They're in the Roosevelt Mall parking lot in front of the T-Mobile store. And that is a good 200, 300, 400 yards from where I'm looking at a fire burning right now outside the driveway of the Roosevelt Mall. So who knows what happened? I'm sure police...
Yeah, that's what some of the people were saying.
We don't know how many people were in cars here, and their lives were in danger as well. So
I mean, because you got to think it exploded, so pieces of the plane went every damn where. And oh my God, people live there. Those people houses too. Like, I don't know if people were home. We don't know none of that yet. It's just they're just right now they're just reporting a plane crash and that it happened in a residential area. And I did hear it was 2 people on the plane. I don't know 100% sure if that's true, but that is what one of the news clips said.
One other thing, Jason, I'm hearing minor explosions. Now, when I got here, I was hearing explosions. I don't know if they were dancing or car tires that blow up when they're burning on fire as well. The Northeast Philly Airport is very close to here. In fact, when you're up here at Cotton and the Boulevard, you'll see the plane planes coming and going, and that is a very busy
So I'm not sure.
Smaller jets, but jets and
I'm not sure if they were on their way to the airport. They did just say it was close to the airport. I don't know. I don't know. Here's another live reporting. Let's see. Y'all, this happened yet again. Really? 2 plane crashes in less than a week. Actually, a few days. A few days, not even a whole week's time. But here's another news report.
You hope that people weren't home from work yet.
Right.
You hope that the residence was empty. We will obviously be looking into that, but we don't know yet. But great that the Red Cross is there to help some of these folks who, if they don't have power, they don't have heat, it's a cold night.
Right, it's a terrible night to be out of your home and be dealing with a disaster of this magnitude. And if your home has caught fire or your car has caught fire and you have no way to get out. So the Red Cross assisting people, and I think we have a crew headed that way to talk to maybe some of the people who've been displaced. We also have a crew headed to the hospital. I think that's the big question tonight, Jason, is we know that there were 6 people on board the Learjet 55.
It was 6 people.
That's been confirmed.
Did you hear that, Hart? 6 people aboard.
Brass. What we don't know is the impact on the ground. We have no idea how many people have been hurt.
So they still don't know how many people were hurt yet.
We've seen videos of houses on fire. We've seen the fireball in the sky.
Houses on fire. Did you hear that?
And
insane.
Dire night here in this neighborhood.
Freaking sane.
East Philadelphia. And, an army of first responders, police, fire, been on the scene for well over 3 hours and will probably be on the scene all night and into the morning hours. Sherelle Parker saying all hands on deck. We're awaiting Governor Josh Shapiro's arrival at any minute now. I'm sure he's being briefed on what happened and what they know at this point, but certainly a dark day for the city.
It's tough because, clinging to any kind of good news we can find, and there just isn't any because the mayor didn't have any information on injuries or anything like that. Maybe the best.
I'm just like, again, another plane crash within a few days. This time in a residential area.
Just show how fast it happened.
In like what in the living
people opening their door and seeing a ball of fire and
HELL, y'all. What is going on?
Coming home, opening their door.
What is going on?
An explosion into the night sky right behind them.
This is crazy.
That man turned around before you saw the sky light up, so he likely heard some loud explosion or a big thud or something.
Yeah, that man who shared that video would love us to try to get him on the phone if he's willing and able. Totally understand that he's not, but I would love to.
That shit didn't even look real. It looked like Hart said, looked like an asteroid.
Eyewitnesses.
That shit's crazy.
For their firsthand account of what they.
My God, I'm praying for all those people in Philly who involved. I mean, they don't know.
Okay, here's another ground.
Oh my gosh, they don't know.
We've seen a couple of different doorbell cameras and people.
All they know is there was 6 people aboard. That's all they're saying.
There's some others.
Some houses were involved.
Out there as well. Each one just shocking to see. Right in the middle of your screen is a car that must have been a few feet away from the crash. That car is just a shell.
Completely burned out.
Yeah.
And
in the middle of the street.
In the middle of the street. So you
fear the worst.
You fear the worst because it's not a car on the side of the road.
Yeah.
It's not parked. And as we mentioned, this is in the middle of rush hour on a Friday night when everybody is out. It's been a long week. People headed home. People maybe headed out for a bite to eat. There are a lot of restaurants in this area. So, the timing could not have been worse. And one thing I thought it was interesting.
It's just crazy, y'all. I'm just
covered.
I'd be speechless and shocked at the same time. Like,
if they know they're in trouble, they definitely try to avoid an area where there would be lots of people. And so when you see that plane just take a nosedive into the sky, just dropping out of nowhere and then bursting into a ball of fire, you can only imagine that it was a dire situation, and the pilot or pilots had no choice, or unable to do anything.
Yeah, Fred, we had an aviation attorney, former Navy pilot Fred TC, who joined us earlier, and he was pointing to possible the de-icing of the wings or lack thereof, mechanical failures,
instrumental issues,
pilot overreaction. I mean, obviously there's a lot of speculation.
This is insane, y'all.
It's just your mind wanders when you think, what could cause a plane to fall out of the sky like that 30 seconds after takeoff?
And he did mention that it's a sophisticated aircraft. And presumably,
it happened 30 seconds after takeoff. So this one was not getting ready to land. This one was getting ready to take off.
To Springfield.
It was taking off. 30 seconds after takeoff. They end up going
and presumably
down in a residential neighborhood.
When this tragedy occurred.
This is crazy. And then the last plane crash, they were a half a mile away from landing.
A SEPTA bus in for anybody who needs a Red Cross assistance so people can board that bus. Are you seeing anybody get on that bus, Cheyenne?
No, I haven't seen anyone get on that bus yet, Jason, but the Red Cross official that I did speak with off camera, he did say that there was one family at least that came to this area. And this is really just like a secure location to where they are trying to process people. Usually when people are displaced, they just need a place where people can know to go to, and that's where they get your information, your number, and they get you set to go and make sure that you have somewhere warm and, in this case tonight, dry to stay. But that's definitely one of the priorities, is making sure that the people who are displaced have somewhere to go and they get your information, and then also just making sure that people, again, stay out of this area, because where we are stationed, this is probably the closest that you're able to get. I actually have been trying to, hopefully speak with some people in the area, but understandably so, officials are making sure that people who live in the community are staying away from us. So this is honestly the closest that we are able to get, and this is honestly just us out here right now. I mean, there's a lot of rain coming down, but it is just me and my photographer, Mark, out here. But we've been seeing crews, firefighters, police walk up and down. We've been seeing them continue to focus really at ground zero that you see a shooting right now. And again, the focus has been people keep trying to get closer to see what happened. I'm sure they're seeing all of this video on social media, and of course, you are curious about what is happening. But again, we are waiting for the governor to get here. He actually should be here any moment, and that's where my colleague Steve Keeley is, because the last press briefing with Mayor Shamar Parker, we really didn't get much information, but just with experience, reporting on different disasters such as plane crashes, explosions, usually in the beginning, you just are trying to make sure that people are okay. That's the priority right now. There were 6 people that were on board. So that's really the priority right now in this case.
All indications are they did not make it. As you see this video that we have shown many times of this couple running in for cover. The president, Donald Trump, releasing a statement saying, "So sad to see the plane go down in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. More innocent souls lost. Our people are totally engaged. First responders are already being given credit for doing a great job. More to follow. God bless you all." Federal help is coming in the form of the NTSB and other FAA and other agencies there. If these first responders need it, they've got drones in the air, they've got crews on the ground. Every firefighter in the Northeast, I would imagine, is here to try to help those who need it. The power is out from this angle. There are charred cars, homes that have burned, and people who have needed help. This was 3 hours ago now when it happened. So here we are on Friday night, 3 hours later, still trying to make sense of this. The mayor has said, if you see debris, first of all, stay away.
Another one.
Call 911. Do not touch.
It's crazy.
And let the crews and first responders do what they need to do. But that's all the information she had. No other information.
Honey, love her friend.
On the ground or some of the numbers and totals that we're all waiting to hear about when it comes to the people on the ground who are.
Thank you for joining my live, girl.
Weather appears to be
I can't believe it. Another one within a few days?
Crews try to piece this together. They've got a huge area of cotton.
And in a residential area, like in a neighborhood.
All cordoned off.
This happened in a neighborhood.
From trying to come and see what's going on. Any looky-loos getting any ideas to come see what's up, don't even try it. There are people who live in this area who may need another place to stay tonight and beyond. There's a whole line of row homes on the right of your screen. As firefighters take this gurney, I don't believe there's a victim on it. It's just equipment. As these firefighters move by, this is Cheyenne Corinne's camera. And so crews are...
It just seems unreal to me. Honey lover friend, I don't know.
The mayor...
But, I mean, I know we're not supposed to question God. We're not supposed to question God. We're not supposed to question God. I'm not questioning God. I'm just... It just seems unreal. This type of stuff just seems unreal. And then for it to... A plane crash? Is this the norm? Is this going to be our norm, plane crashes?
In the vicinity of Roosevelt Mall on Cotman Avenue.
Yeah, let me show you. Hold on. Let me move. Hold on, because I got my mail sitting up here. Hold on.
As of right now, we have no reports on the number of fatalities.
And that's all she had. And otherwise, stay away. We're doing our jobs, and we'll update you, she says, a little bit later. So now we wait, hopefully in the next few minutes, to hear from Governor Josh Shapiro.
Right now, they know it was 6 people aboard. They're not saying, they don't know the 6 people are still with us. It did happen in a residential area. They're not, some houses was involved. I mean, that's all they're saying right now. So, it's just crazy, y'all.
To help people. And save those
in a residential area, in a normal neighborhood like we all live in.
Here, it's hard to see anything.
A plane crashes.
Up, doing everything they can at this moment, but as far as numbers, as far as information goes, it's going to take hours, if not a day. Cheyenne, I'm really curious about the folks who live here. You have somebody with you in this area?
I'm just like.
Yeah, I do. He actually somehow made his way over here.
What in?
I mean, you live in the area, correct?
Yeah,
what exactly?
Oh, this guy lives there. Hold on.
What happened was, he was coming out the wrong side of the class, and all we seen is a big fireball up in the sky. We didn't know it was a gas explosion or whatever happened, but it was just crazy. People just running all over it, trying to see exactly what went on down there.
And what was your first reaction when you heard that it's a plane crash?
Well, you heard a big boom, so it was like a bomb. It was a attack going on or whatever. I mean, we just heard about the terrible tragedy that happened in D.C. So then another plane was going down, so we didn't know what was going on out here.
And did you hear that, unfortunately, there were 6 people on board, and it's presumed that there are no survivors? What's your reaction to that?
They said there's no survivors. And then the bad thing about it is they said there was a little girl that was being rushed on medical
oh my God.
To another hospital, and this happened.
And how far from the scene do you live?
Yeah, I don't live far, right off, like probably half a block down. We're down in that area.
Are you able to get to your home? I know that there are some people that are just
blocked off. We can't even get down in the area. They're not allowing no cars to go in the area. They got it blocked off like 10 blocks around the area. No cars can go in the area at all.
So what do you plan to do tonight? Is the rest of your family safe?
Well, I DJ. I'm DJ Thorpe, so I'm working at a club on the other side, so I got to go way across and around, so I can't even go to my destination to get records and stuff to do the work.
And you mentioned the recent DC plane crash. With this happening so soon after, what are your thoughts?
I'm thinking it's like I'm trying to figure out it's like very I don't like. To me, I'm thinking this is a terrorist thing going on.
Right, you can't help but to think that. You don't want to say that, but you can't help but to think it. Like, what the fuck? Excuse my language if y'all don't cuss. Excuse my language in this moment. Excuse my language in this moment, y'all, but I'm just like, I'm with him.
It's terrible.
Is this our norm now? Like, what?
And this is just one resident who lives in the area. But, as I said, this is Northeast Philadelphia. There's a lot of homes, a lot of row homes in the area. As you just heard him say, he doesn't even know how he is going to get to his home, which is on the other side of this scene. And
honey lover friend, I'm with you on that. But sometimes when something come across, like me being on YouTube all the time, like soon as I clicked off of Jay and Queen Alchemy Live, this was right in my face.
The reality of one live TV and also
this was right in my face. Like I don't watch regular news, but this is on YouTube.
But you see the Northeast Philadelphia.
And I'm on YouTube all the time. It's like you can't even get past, like you can't even bypass it. Like
happens, and it's only.
And then the fact that it just happened the other day.
After what we just saw happen over, and
it's my anxiety, girl. I'm gonna calm down in a minute, but this just.
We appreciate.
I'm like that dude. Like you can't help but to think.
The latest information.
Like what is going on? Seriously, like what's really going on?
And talk about the weather.
We know things happen. We know.
First responders.
We know things like this do happen. We do.
EMS on the scene. Trying to,
but back to back like this,
figure out what happened.
Like you can't help but to think like that. You can't. It's too much. It's way too much.
Find out as well.
It's way too much.
Learn more information if it played a role in this plane going down.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I was doing some research on just that, Dawn. So one of the things that folks look at when a plane comes down was there ice
on
the wings, because that essentially changed.
But I feel you on that. I'm the same way too most of the time. But damn, I'm on YouTube all the time now. As soon as I got off of Jay and Queen Alchemy's Live, this was in my face. And I was like, what? I had to click on because I'm like, I want to make sure I was saying the right thing because we just seen this the other day. I mean, we're still seeing it from the other day. They don't even know everything that happened with that plane crash yet. And here goes another one.
So ice was not a factor for this plane. In terms of the conditions, there were some.
I wanted to make sure my eyes were seeing the right title. I really wanted to make sure my eyes were seeing the right title.
And you can tell there's some of those.
Because it was, it was saying Philadelphia and not DC. We've been seeing the DC news coverage every day since it happened. Now I seen Philadelphia. I clicked on it to make sure I was reading right. I couldn't.
You're gonna have these whiteout conditions just because those are only a couple hundred feet off the ground at the airport, about 600 feet off the ground at the time. So the plane quickly.
So all you can do is shake your head. So all we can do is shake our head, like because what we do.
From there, we don't know exactly what happened, but it does not sound or look like icing was a factor for that. So certainly some light rain when the plane took off. As for the conditions right now, we have wind.
It's real scary. So many people talking about they got flights coming. They get ready canceled. Can't even live your life because you're scared, and you're not supposed to live your life in fear.
To the rain picking up a bit.
But when this is happening, then every other day,
the next hour, in fact,
it's gonna make people scared.
A radar here at the Fox 29 Weather Authority Weather Center, I can see there's a pocket of heavy rain that is actually sitting right over where we've been talking about, Cottman Avenue, the Roosevelt Boulevard, where the airplane took off and what happened to it. So that is something that the first responders are dealing with right now.
Thank you very much.
My Lord.
For trying to bring us some of that. The weather impact of this.
So all we can do is pray.
What may have caused this plane to fall about 30 seconds?
Because we don't know the answers. We can't question God. We don't know why it's happening. We just know things like this happen.
Lear 55 headed to Missouri with.
We just know things like this happen.
A parent.
And I keep saying over and over again, we can't question God. We can't question God. We can't question God.
Of course, more crew members. So 6.
We cannot question Him, but my Lord.
Cheyenne's back. And again, ever since then, you see the result of this. Houses that are some destroyed, cars that are charred, a whole neighborhood just rocked by this, and still trying to.
All I can say is we just stay prayed up because we just never know.
And so we're still looking.
All we can do is continue to pray over our lives, over our children's lives, over our people's lives, over just pray over yourself, you just be living your life and just be out there living your life in a plane crash.
This plane's route from the airport straight to this area.
Right there. Yeah, the plane just takes a nosedive before the sky just turns into a fireball. Look at this is close up of what happened, and you can only imagine people living in that area. You see people driving by wondering what in the world is happening. And Jason, even earlier in the evening, we now know that it was a Lear Jet 55. We know it was a medical transport, but because of the angle of that,
it was a medical transport jet.
Took a nosedive some people initially thought it was a missile. Nobody was even sure it was a plane until we got confirmation from the FAA and the NTSB.
Oh my gosh!
And then the company operating that transport.
It's unreal. It looks unreal. It really looks unreal.
That it was in fact a plane headed to Springfield, Missouri.
I took it off because it's triggering. It's triggering. It really is. Because what?
So just really a devastating night for Philadelphia, and the weather has just gotten worse and worse as the night went on. It was lightly raining.
Say that again, honey lover friend.
Heavily, we had all these emergency personnel.
Like you said, we can't say but so much on here, but yeah.
Assist people. We know that.
So when the guy said what he said, you can't help but to think that. You can't. It might not be that, you know, but you just can't help but to think that.
You can get some more information. I think a lot of people.
It might not be that, but you can't help but to think it.
About the.
Yeah, there you go. Highly questionable. We'll keep it like that. Highly questionable.
And I would have to think 3 hours later, it's still a search and rescue effort, still door to door, just trying to find anybody in the community who may have been impacted. There was debris flying everywhere, and who knows what could happen in that situation. Fireball like that, and cars, charred out. So I'm sure that firefighters are still making sure.
As of right now, with 6 people aboard.
On the ground and knocking on doors and making sure that the folks in harm's way are okay. You got something?
Well, Steve Keeley just saying that the fire department says they had fires in 6 homes.
I believe that.
Calvert.
So right now, 6 homes.
Avenue, which he says is in the 72.
6 homes were involved.
We heard from the mayor earlier saying homes and vehicles were impacted. And he's telling
honey lover friends, say that again. See, I'm trying not to say too much because I know sometimes I feel like they, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
different homes, we saw at least one of those homes on fire earlier in the evening.
Like you said, we're gonna keep saying highly questionable. Okay, we'll leave it like that.
Really can't move from this location. The whole area has been cordoned off, and media cannot cross certain lines here.
A lot of people are talking about it.
For these first responders,
a lot of people are talking about it.
You're seeing,
especially now. Okay, they were saying it with the first one. It's really gonna be talked about now. This just happened. What, 2 days later? Like what?
Okay, well, obviously, Cheyenne is
2 days later.
Not able to hear us.
It's really gonna be talked about now.
But can you hear me now? Yeah. Hey, Cheyenne. I know it's live news.
How can you?
It's very fluid.
How can it not be highly questionable? I like that you said that because that's a good way to put it. Highly questionable.
Have you talked to anybody else in the neighborhood? Are you hearing anything from people who may have witnessed this? Anything from crews on the scene?
Just insane.
Well, we just heard from our sources that apparently at one time,
let's pray
there were 6 homes
that no one was home, y'all. Let's say a prayer that no one was home in those 6 homes.
At least 6 people.
Let's hope that everybody was still at work. No kids was there. Like, let's hope that nobody was home, y'all. I'm praying that nobody was home in those 6 homes.
Again, 6 homes that.
Because as of right now, all they're saying it was 6 homes involved. Let's pray that nobody was home in those homes.
Of that police truck, it looks like that police may be putting up some type of barriers because, as you can imagine, this area is going.
And we do know with any type of anything, they withhold information. They don't tell us everything initially. They only tell us bits and pieces until they're ready to tell everything. So that's with any type of,
But I'm not quite sure how he was able to make it over here because this is not an area that they are recommending people come to. But of course, people are very curious. So I can imagine that another focus for officials are trying to put up maybe some more secure barriers to keep.
Yeah, y'all. Let's pray that those 5 homes that were involved, nobody was home. Let's just pray nobody was home.
Just to make sure that people are safe and also to, continue to work the scene here at Ground Zero, guys.
Okay. Thank you very much, Cheyenne. Let's go back to the statement where the president has just released a statement about this particular crash, saying, "So sad to see the plane go down in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. More innocent souls lost. Our people are totally engaged. First responders are already being given credit for doing a great job. More to follow. God bless you all."
And then the American Red Cross of Southeastern Pennsylvania on the scene, as we know, in Northeast Philadelphia. Its communications director also releasing the following message, telling us, quote, a team of trained Red Cross disaster workers are on the scene to help those who've been displaced. We are working with our city, state, and federal partners to assess any other needs that we can assist with. And we know
too much.
Talking with Cheyenne Corinne that she also spoke to the Red Cross on the scene. They're trying to reach out to families.
And they were leaving.
Who need to leave.
They were leaving, getting ready to go in the air, and they went down.
One family who was
this was different. The one in DC was getting ready to land within a mile, within a half a mile. This one was just going in the air, then end up going back down from what they said.
6 homes, and it could be more, did catch fire, were impacted by the debris from this plane crash, as well as burned out cars. And you can only imagine the fear of so rampant.
I can't imagine how it must have been to be there to see it.
And not know. And not know what happened. And what if
everything you saying. Everything you saying, honey lover friend.
Video. We've seen people who witnessed it, but if you were in your home and had no idea,
or like these people, right at their doorstep, running in for cover,
right, and all of a sudden this. But what if you were inside, you didn't know, and all of a sudden your house catches on fire, and you're like,
what in the world was that?
Right.
The diner that's nearby the Four Seasons Diner had some debris. Steve Keeley has been all over, has been running around this whole neighborhood trying to get some reporting for us to tell us what's going on. There's a McDonald's there that had some debris, an oxygen tank from the plane.
Unreal.
Which had the same markings and same branding as the plane that crashed. That's at a McDonald's. There was an AutoZone.
Crazy is right.
That had some smoldering.
Y'all don't mind. I think I got a pimple patch.
A Dunkin' Donuts here across the street, a Raising Cane's, all
right there.
businesses that may have some serious damage. Here's an earlier look on the left of the fire that was taking place.
It don't matter about the buildings having damage. I just pray it was no people.
6:45.
They don't even. I pray it was no people home. I pray it was no people in the whatever they're saying caught on fire. Hopefully nobody got. I just pray nobody else got hurt. I just pray for the people because things can be replaced. But people cannot be replaced.
The rescuing that needed to take place has happened.
That's always my stance on everything.
And now we wait for
it could be any one of us, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, is this gonna be our norm? Plane crashes everywhere? Is this what this is?
It could be days before Cotton is open again.
Like you said, highly questionable.
Yeah, we have no idea. Our Shauna Wilson is actually live for us on the
honey lover friend.
Now trying to
exactly.
People and
exactly.
Learn, Shawnette.
Well, no, we've been driving around. People are.
Like, we got to stay prayed up. We just got to. I mean, that's all we can do is continue to pray. What else can we do? Because if something like that is going to happen, it's just going to happen. Clearly.
Check out. It didn't completely pan out, but realizing that things are changing minute by minute with the situation. We went to check out a location where displaced residents were supposed to be, and that location has been changed. We stopped by another business, the Ritz Diner. One of the workers there told me, and they're a little bit ways down the boulevard, but said that, police had come in earlier that day to make sure everybody was okay.
That's right.
Once this happened, of course, everybody cleared out of there. They wanted to either get home where they felt, that they would be safe.
Right now, I'm just praying that
see exactly what was going on.
The houses that they're saying were involved, no one was home.
Just a long night.
The businesses that they said were involved, nobody got hurt. I'm just praying on that. They've already confirmed that the people that were on the plane,
what they have seen.
I don't know.
And they've seen a lot. Cheyenne mentioned this a little while ago.
I don't know.
Well, but one police officer, we had gotten on the back street, not too far from the house that Mark Lavallo was showing earlier, the house that, caught fire. And the police officer was trying to direct people, including us, off the street. And he said to me, I'm sorry. It's just that earlier I watched a house burn down before many smoke crews were even here. And at that point, he kind of just stepped away. And so, here his job for tonight is just to kind of man the area, block off roads, and make sure people are moving through and not stopping. And the weight, I felt the weight of what he said. When he said, I watched that happen.
I can't even imagine.
Right now, police are trying to let us through the road.
shoot, me watching it happen from the TV was enough for me. If I was actually there on the scene and seeing it happen,
who are inside their homes,
Jesus.
in the windows, they're looking out. And these are people in the neighborhood. They're not, you know, on Cotman, on Bustleton, and so there's not a lot for them to see aside from maybe emergency vehicles going by and roads blocked off, but yet they are in their windows. Some of them I saw on their phones and just trying to, you know, deal.
Yes, back to back.
What's their mood, Shawnette? Are
Back to
people
back to back.
worried? Are they scared? Are they anxious? Did you
Back to back to back.
When I was driving, we just saw them in the window.
Catastrophes.
But you know, I received a few
Catastrophes.
from people who I interviewed in the Northeast.
Yeah, that's why I turned it off. I turned it back around on me because I know once you said that, I didn't want you to see it. I definitely understand. It's
right.
Trigger warning. Trigger warning.
You know, thankfully it's not right here. But she said that what they had been doing was, you know, people are calling around trying to make sure that.
I got the video right here. They steady showing it. I turned it around back to me because once you said that, I respect that. The people that were on here before you got on here, they were fine with looking at it. But once you said that, I respect that. So I understand trauma, period. So, yeah.
Many of the businesses where we are right now, you know, have shut down or, you know, closed. But there are still people out. People have come in the parking lot and just kind of like park their cars and they're just here.
Because even just watching it through the TV is bad. If you were there and actually seen it, can you imagine?
It's hard to just go home.
It was people like not far, like just in the street. It's a regular residential area, so it's a regular day, a regular evening.
I know you said earlier that
they just in the street, probably chilling in front of their house, and from afar they see something crash really heavy with like a big bomb. Like just imagine. In a residential, it happened in a residential area, like literally.
When their city is in crisis.
Like me going sit outside on my little porch right now, and it can like.
As I said earlier, she had someone else with her.
It's crazy.
With a blanket wrapped around them, and so my initial reaction when I saw them was to say, "Are you okay?" I didn't know where they were coming from, and I wish I had a chance to speak to her, you know, in greater detail. But she was she was nice.
One dude said it looked like before you got on here. One dude said it looked like an asteroid. I think he said it in my comments.
You know, if there was
and it did, like, in one angle, it looked like an asteroid. It looked like something you see on TV.
See who was around and that everybody was okay.
Like, it looked like a war, like war bombs or something. Like, girl, when I tell you it looks unreal. It don't look like, it looked like something you see on the TV. That's what it looked like.
People come together, you know, we're blessed in a way that we
in a residential area. Just imagine in a residential area.
Shopping or anything like that were hurt from any debris. I don't think we've heard anything like that yet. But people come together in this moment to make sure that
it just don't look real. It didn't look real. It don't look real.
Same thing about some of these folks who are displaced. I wouldn't be surprised to see some of these neighbors opening their doors to their friends who are displaced here. You know, we're looking at we've been looking at the same shots for a while. We cannot move. We cannot give you a better glimpse because this is it. I mean, any closer, we can't pass these police lines. We can't go to the other side. It's all
you don't know. Like we don't. You don't know.
It's like a police officer watched the house.
You don't know.
Fear that. You know, we haven't even begun to scratch the surface on some of the damage, some of the devastation by this crash.
And I know, and honestly, I probably do know better just looking. I can't help it. Like, because even though I'll probably be thinking about this when I turn this stuff off, because my anxiety is off the chain. However, like, when I seen it, like I said, I had to double look at it and to make sure I seen Philadelphia and not D.C. Because, you know, all we've been seeing the past few days is D.C. So it shocked me that it was another plane crash, and in a residential area at that. That shocked me as well. I couldn't believe it.
The people who were in that Learjet 55 didn't make it. We're hearing from the company that they don't believe that there are any survivors. Obviously, that's not confirmed, and we have to wait.
You woke up to what? A plane crash?
The question is, what is the situation on the ground, especially when we know that cars have been burned out?
Can you clarify that? What you mean you woke up? What you wake up to?
In the middle of the road. That wasn't a parked car. That wasn't a car in a parking lot. That was a car probably on its way somewhere. So we know that 6 homes caught fire. We don't know the extent of it, but those people are probably displaced. So just a really sad night for Philadelphia.
No time to process.
Earlier too.
That's why it shocked me so much, because we're still talking about DC. That's why it shocked me so much.
Activity, you don't hear sirens. You just.
I can't imagine. Oh man.
Stunned people. Not sure what hospital that was. Was that Jefferson Torresdale? Because I know that we were going to be checking on some of the hospitals, and so as soon as we can get information as far as how many people are being treated and that sort of thing, we'll bring it to you. On the left there, you see some of the aftermath that followed. Black smoke reported, just chaos afterwards with the smell of fuel. We're hearing the governor has.
We're going to go to Governor Josh Shapiro right now.
Man, oh man.
On the scene. He is there along with Mayor.
Oh, that is terrible, honey lover friend. Is she okay? Has she been replaced?
I want to give a quick recap.
I'm pretty sure by now she has. Like, did she have family?
And then we will give you.
Did she get her home rebuilt, or like, what's going on with her now?
Went down in the vicinity of Roosevelt Mall on Cottman Avenue, and it did occur shortly after 6 p.m. Again, we have no reports on the number of fatalities, so we are asking everyone for their thoughts and prayers for all who may have been impacted and affected by this tragedy. Several dwellings and vehicles were also impacted, and so we are urging people, particularly those families who live in the surrounding
Okay, yeah, I'm sure it takes time, yeah.
Stay home if possible. If you see any debris, and those who are conducting the investigations have repeated. But
I'm glad she made it out.
Please do.
Because again,
anything, because
material things can be replaced. People can't.
Just call 911, please, if you see anything. Investigators and federal, state, and local partners are as expeditiously as possible.
That hit home for me. My mom passed away from cancer. So that definitely hits home for me, dealing with cancer.
That shelter is now available.
Oh, wow. And she was probably heartbroken from that.
High school located at 5500 Langdon Street. Samuel Fells High School, 5500 Langdon Street. If anyone has been impacted and you need shelter and support.
Okay, so they have shelter for the people that was impacted.
In terms of our federal and state
exactly.
partners, I want to say
and two things.
They are here on site now. The FAA.
Emotionally and physically? Yeah.
Pennsylvania DEP, of course, our police and fire departments and OEM. I am here with Governor Shapiro. We've been in constant contact since it started. You'll be hearing from him shortly. But I also want to say,
girl, people not even supposed to be that close, and they got past, and they up there.
Who we have spoken.
I'm wondering if they live. I'm wondering if that's one of the people that.
Senators Fetterman and McCormick, thank you so very much.
That shit's crazy. I'm sorry for the cursing, y'all, but in some situations I can't help but to curse.
Those supports and services are available. Congressman Evans, Boyle, and Scanlon, our congressional delegation, a special thank you to each of you for your support. I also need to affirm that locally here, Senator Joe Picozzi, Rep. Solomon, Reps. Nielsen, Doherty, who represents this area, and Bellman, Commissioner Daly, and Councilmember Driscoll was present. If there was ever a time when we needed to affirm what the One Philly philosophy means, the time is now.
Right, who would?
Proud about how our federal, state, and all of our local partners.
Not only do I pray
to deal with this tragedy,
that physically they're fine, they're still here, and nobody got hurt. I pray for their mental health, for the I pray for the people's mental health that's witnessing this in person.
She talks about a unified approach to governing every day. What you're seeing here is a unified response to an awful aviation disaster. For as awful as that aviation disaster was, tonight we also saw the best of Philly. We saw neighbor helping neighbor. We saw Pennsylvanians looking out for one another. I want to reaffirm the comments the mayor said about all of the different agencies working together. And I want to especially thank and salute Philly Fire and Philly Police who did
so true
this evening.
Processing it is a big processing trauma is really like.
And we want to offer our thoughts and our serious prayers for those who are grieving at this moment.
I can attest to that.
You all to know
going through that now myself with something different from this, but it's still sometimes it takes a long time to process certain things.
Troopers who are on the ground right here in Northeast Philly. We have 25 members of our PennDOT.
I think the processing comes before the grieving.
We have members of the Pennsylvania Emergency.
And some things I don't even know if I processed it yet. You get what I'm saying?
Who joins me behind here.
It's crazy.
We also have members of DEP, the Department of Environmental Protection, who are here to make sure that any hazardous materials are addressed. And as you heard the mayor reference, we're joined by several state representatives and senators. I want to thank them. They will make sure that whatever is needed for this community gets to this community. I also spoke earlier this evening with the United States Secretary of Transportation, Secretary Duffy, who offered his full support to Northeast Philly. And as the mayor alluded to, he has dispatched 4 members of the FAA to Philly, and there are 4 members of NTSB on their way as well. We have all the resources that we need. And again, as the mayor always says, one Philly, we are unified in our approach to deal with this emergency. And again, I'll just end by sharing my prayers, the prayers of my wife, Lori, our First Lady, and on behalf of 13 million Pennsylvanians, we are all here for Northeast Philly tonight in this very, very difficult.
I pray for the firefighters. I pray for all the rescuers. I pray for all those people that have to help the people that's involved. Like, it's just so many layers.
We want to let our federal, state, and local partners do their jobs and go.
It's just so many layers.
We'll report back to you when we have more information.
Okay, honey lover friend, thanks for joining. I appreciate you. Have a good night.
Just been listening to the mayor of Philadelphia and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro addressing reporters on this monumental tragedy in Philadelphia, a plane crashing in Northeast Philadelphia shortly after taking off from the airport there, a little bit before 6.
Oh, Lord.
Dropping from the sky into a huge fireball. Fires all over the wreckage area, 6 house fires, cars burned out, and the mayor and the governor both talking about the unified response to this awful aviation disaster. The governor saying that this is when you see the best of Philadelphia. We talked about this earlier. Neighbor looking after neighbor, people coming together to help each other. You're looking at video shortly after that plane just dropped out of the sky, and you just see this huge ball of fire, the wreckage strewn across Roosevelt Boulevard, Cotman Avenue. It's a half-mile area of wreckage, and the governor saying that they are providing all the resources that are needed. They have 45 state police troopers, 25 members of PennDOT, members from the Emergency Management Office, from the State Emergency Management Office, also the Department of Environmental Protection to address any hazardous material concerns, because we have all this wreckage, this plane wreckage, just lying in the street here.
It's a mess.
Philadelphia, the mayor telling people
a whole
to touch it, call
mess.
911 if you come across a piece of wreckage, as they try to piece together what exactly went wrong here, Jason.
Just a day that so many of us will never forget. I just heard from a friend who says his daughter was at Target nearby, about a couple blocks away, and heard the bang, felt the shaking of the store, and just saw a
Can't even imagine.
Right outside there, just at the Roosevelt Mall area. And so Cotman.
Thanks for joining me. I usually tell y'all like the live. I don't even care if you thumbs up the live, because this is not even that. This is me being in shock.
10 o'clock straight up.
Yet again, another plane crash. And
we are staying on the air with that right now to bring you continuing coverage. Hour 4.
Needed to vent about it. Like I was in shock, y'all. In freaking shock.
Plane that crashed on Cotman Avenue, resulting in what is likely the deaths of 6 people, including a child and a parent, medical personnel.
And this is the start of the 10 o'clock news. Let's get live to Shawnette Wilson with more information. Shawnette.
And so, Donna, we just pulled back up here near Cotman in Bustleton, and we noticed that Councilman Anthony Phillips was walking by here. So I wanted to stop him. I know he's headed over to where the mayor is and where the press conference has been happening. But you're out here in the neighborhood. First of all, your thoughts and your feeling tonight.
Thanks, Shauna. I just wanted to be out here tonight because I wanted to hear from residents about how they're feeling, what they saw, and also like what is needed for us to get through this. Honestly, what I'm thinking is that we need God. And not only do we need God, but we need to utilize our bodies and our intellect to figure out what is going on with aviation throughout this nation. You know, earlier this week there was a plane crash, but even before that, there were crashes that were almost a crash. There was near crashes. So clearly things.
We didn't know about that.
When I was happening here from residents today, is that they felt like they heard a bomb. Right, and there was people at Macy's who felt like it was an earthquake at the beginning because it shook the whole building. But they said when they looked outside, it was beyond an earthquake. It was far more devastating and worse. So people right now are shocked, they're disbelieved, and they're asking for answers. Like, what's next? Especially with all the changes that are happening in this country. It's just like people.
You can't help but to you don't want to question God. You don't want to question. But you kind of can't help it.
It's shocking. You know, right here in this Northeast Philadelphia, I represent this area 3 blocks away. And a lot of our residents utilize this Roosevelt Mall for shopping and joy. And this is supposed to be a place where people have good times. And now it's a place where you're like, wait a minute, this doesn't feel peaceful right now. And so when you first see these images, you're like, this is the mall that I go to. This is the place where I reside. And you're wondering how many people are devastated and how many people are hurt. Because when it initially happened, it's like, oh my God, this must be a catastrophe, you know, because of the thousands of cars that come out, thousands of people that reside here, but also shop here as well every single day. So those are the thoughts that come through our mind. And, you know, our thoughts and prayers with that family. But most importantly, we got to figure out how do we prevent these things from happening? Because clearly this seems like a never-ending story right now, and it's hurt me. Like it really.
How do you prevent stuff like this from happening? Like,
because I was already upset about the plane crash in D.C. And everybody who knows me, I'm the Freedom Heights, and so this plane crash in D.C. was bothering me all week, and now it goes to home to Murphy. So I had to come out here tonight to see what is going on, what can I do, and how can I be helpful because our city deserves the best.
Thank you very much. We know you got to get to the other locations, so we appreciate you. And so Councilman Anthony Phillips out here saying that he's walking around the neighborhood you just heard of. He wants to know what people stand in need of right now, who may have witnessed or who are watching these images. Reaching out to see what he can do to help out this area.
What can you do? Like,
so where we are, we're right back kind of where we started earlier tonight at Bustleton and Cotman, and the police, you can still see the presence up there. It seems like a lot of the corners have thinned out with people kind of crowding the corner, but there certainly are people still walking around because they are aware that this is going to be what it is for quite some time throughout the rest of the night and, into tomorrow. And Jason has said earlier, into the future to figure out, as the councilman just talked about, what happened to prevent these things from happening. So that's the investigation side. We're hearing sirens off in the distance again. So
insane.
The councilman said, pray for these people who have been affected. The
plane crashes into a residential area.
That has been devastating.
Very much so insane.
It is a freak coincidence that the DC crashing out this, and I know a lot of people are going, what is going on? By the way, that's not live. That's earlier tonight. But Cotman is right at Leonard Street. That's where this is, and that is presumably ground zero for this plane crash, and so that's what you're looking at right there. But a freak accident that
and I think it's weighing heavily on people's minds because of the situation in Washington, D.C. That was the deadliest.
I mean, it will weigh heavily regardless.
Generation, and then
it would definitely weigh heavily regardless if the D.C. crash didn't happen. But yes, this is double.
I thought, what?
And then before that, like Honey Lover Friend said, it was the LA fires, like all this stuff back to back. And I call them catastrophes because.
And it's a busy airport, and it happens at a busy.
What else can you call it?
Philadelphia.
I think the shock.
What else can you call it?
Starting to wear off, and the reality is sinking in. The human toll is really starting to sink in. People are starting to really understand what has occurred here 4 hours ago now. just about 4 hours ago when that plane, that Learjet, crashed on Cottman, right near the Roosevelt Mall. And so, it's still fresh, but the reality is sinking in.
Okay.
Is that Cheyenne? Do we have Cheyenne ready? Who do you have with you, Cheyenne?
Hey, Jason. Yeah, first off, just for people who are just joining us, we're now in about our 4th hour since this plane crashed here in Northeast Philadelphia. And just to kind of also give you a feel of the environment out here, it's very eerie, and that's what I'm hearing from a lot of people, especially who live here in Northeast Philadelphia. But I do want to bring someone with us, just as you mentioned, you want to come over here. He lives close by, and you were actually not home when this happened, but you said your mother was. If you want to come closer.
There go a resident from that area, y'all.
So I was around from here, and I received, a call from my mom saying she was crying on the phone. She was like, a plane just crashed around the house. I'm like, what just happened, Mom? I'm like all worried, and I started rushing over here. But as soon as I get over here, all the cops are blocking everything. I see a huge fire, and I can actually tell you what she said because she was here. So she told me, she was in the living room. She was listening to some worship song, and out of nowhere she said, like, just everything's that when you like get a flashbang or something. Yeah, she said she saw something like that, like a fire, and everything started shaking, and she was like terrified. She looked outside, she heard people crying, screaming, and it's terrifying.
And how is your mother now? And also, just to give our viewers at home some perspective, can you show them exactly where you live?
So I actually live. You see the street Bradford right there? The one has the one-way sign right here. This first one, yeah. So he's kind of just go a little bit back. You see the green by the PC Richard right there? You should look kind of back to you. Where the truck is right here, headed right there. Those green with white, that's like right there, pretty much, like a little back. And yeah.
And how's your mother doing now, and also the rest of your neighbors? How have they been impacted?
Everybody was just shocked. Everybody was like rushing outside, trying to see what's going on. Especially my mom, like I said, she was just crying on the phone. I was like, I was worried, man. It was tough, It's something that it was out of nowhere, and everybody's pretty much shocked around the neighborhood. I'm pretty sure it's pretty sad.
But you are able to go back into your home right now. At any point, did you lose power? Is that power back on?
Yeah, the power went out. I'm pretty sure for the whole neighborhood around here, because when I got here, me and my boys, went around trying to see what's going on, and the house is being, they're like all shut out. So I'm pretty sure the power was shut out for everybody. So. But as you can see, I think it's pretty much back. We see some houses with the lights back on, so should be back.
And your reaction to hearing the loss of life, 6 people, what are your thoughts?
It's saddening to hear that. I was honestly so shocked when I heard that. It's a medical plane, I'm pretty sure. They had 2 pilots, 2 medical people in there, and 2, what are they called?
All right, y'all. I'm gonna get off of here. I think that's enough for me. So just before I get off of here, so far 6 fatalities.
Yeah, maybe surgery. You never know.
I don't know the details.
That's so sad.
I mean, I heard a little bit, but I don't even want to repeat it.
Speaking with us. I know.
But yeah, it's all over. It's all over YouTube, all over the news.
From your mother, who was home at the time, was definitely frightening. And just
put it in the search thing, it'll come up. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Not something that people expect.
I don't know what else to say.
A Friday evening, people.
I just know it's draining to see this happen yet again.
Comes crashing down in their neighborhood.
And this time in a residential area.
Lives had been lost. Jason and Dawn, this is just, again, another person who lives in the area. So
it's insane.
There are many people impacted by what happened, and this is just the very beginning.
Right, and we've been talking about that all night. That man was describing just how frightening it was, and that his mother.
All right, y'all. I'm out of here.
Neighbors had no idea. This is what they were looking at. They had no idea what was happening, and just how.